personal associate of Srila Prabhupada from the 1960s. And she would not only serve him and do deity worship under him, but she sewed for him. And many of the most famous photos of Srila Prabhupada, he's wearing clothes that Jai Shri sewed for him. You know, just 5 days ago I was with Shilavati.
Yes. I was just sad to miss you. You were not, and I was so happy to see you this morning on the camera. So I did miss you.
It's very special. Would you like to share a story with everyone? I don't know. It might be too complicated. Because here, would you like to come up here and talk?
Yes.
Because I have a certain type of hesitation to meddle with the sound system. If it works, let it be.
No, I don't want to sit on the chair. I want to sit on the floor. Good. Thank you. Actually, one time when Prabhupada was in Detroit, if you've been to the Detroit temple, there's a balcony above the Vyasa. And the women with children, we actually would sit up there. Prabhupada came one time. And so we were all sitting up there. Prabhupada was sitting on the Vyasa, and at one point he stopped. He said, "Nobody should sit above the Guru." Yeah?
You're my guru.
No, I'm just older than you. In this life, been around maybe a little bit longer, but certainly not as accomplished. So the first person I met in Krishna consciousness was Srila Prabhupada. I was from Hawaii, left my father was a manager at Dun & Bradstreet. We had a new Cadillac every year. I drove a sports car when I was young. And I got this inclination at one point, I was like 19, that I wanted to find God. So I went on a very fallen journey looking for God. And it took me to San Francisco and back to Hawaii, and then I was out in the country, and I had given up, no intoxication, no illicit sex life, no gambling, no meat eating, and it all happened just like in unique ways, like your story. When I read your story, I see my situation. Krishna's very kind and very smart. So I was out in the country, and I was
Very profound what she's saying.
That's the extent of my philosophy. Like Saraswati, who's God? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. That's about
Profound.
Actually, Prabhupada wrote to me one time, and he said, "You're very intelligent." And I've always, when you were talking, I was thinking, that this is what he meant. It's not that I'm intelligent. I'm certainly not. I'm certainly not scholarly. But the fact that I could understand that Krishna, who he was from Prabhupada, and that who Prabhupada was. So the story goes there. I was out in the country, and I would hitchhike to work. I was a hippie person. And I was working at the Lani Loa Inn, which was the restaurant. But I was a vegetarian and everything already. Somehow or other, Krishna opened my eyes to all these things before I met Prabhupada. So I was serving someone, and I looked, and I saw an article, Swami somebody in Honolulu. I thought, wow, a Swami, cool. Because I'd go to work, and I'd go home, and all I would do was meditate, trying to understand God, read about some impersonalist Bhagavad Gita, read about Jesus, and Buddhist teaching, trying to understand. And then I had a friend, and of course I didn't have a car. I wanted to go to the little bakery, and I went to the bakery. I had to have an almond cookie. It was the impetus of my journey. I had to have this almond cookie. So I went to the bakery, and there in the bakery window was a little handwritten poster that Gursindar had drawn, who passed away just recently. Yeah, but he had come back into the Association of Devotees again, and with his wife Gaia, and all the devotees were spending so much time with him.
I'd like to hear it later.
Yes, okay.
Wonderful.
So I went to this bakery, a very small bakery, and there was a poster, and it had a man in the graveyard, and there was ghosts flying around, and he was contemplating life, and it said, chant while you can. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, and it said, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. And I said to my friend, wow, a Swami, take me there. A little demanding, I guess. So I grabbed my almond cookie, got my apple juice, and we drove to this place, and this was in Kaava. And I looked up, and there was an old Hawaiian house, and then there was a windmill, and some cows. So we drove up the driveway, and I started feeling very apprehensive. Scared, but not scary scared. I turned around and I looked up, and there was an older gentleman in saffron at the top of the stairs, telling us to come up. So we went up the stairs, and there was all this, it was like an outside lanai, a patio with a screen, and there was all this saffron cloth. And we walked through this simple temple room that had a wire across it and cloth hanging, and we walked. Prabhupada went into his room. Nobody else was there. It was the first time they'd ever left him alone. Krishna just like opened the door, back door for me. And right when you walked in, there was a Brij Basi print of Arjuna with his bow and arrow and Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita. So we went into Prabhupada's room, and Prabhupada was sitting there, and his desk was a piece of plywood, raw plywood, and he was sitting on an old Hawaiian cushion. But I had so many questions, and I had faith in Jesus. And I was sitting there, and Prabhupada was just beautiful, just angelic, and he was like, he started talking, and he was the best friend, my best friend that I've been looking for my whole life. And he started talking about God, and in this conversation, I didn't ask anything. I could see him looking into my mind and into my heart. And he started talking about God, and he answered all of my questions, and I never asked anything. And then the devotees came back, and they brought him some sugar cane, and I was following the mucusless diet healing system at the time where you didn't eat sugar. So Prabhupada got a sugar cane, he offered it to me, and I said, no, thank you, I don't eat sugar. And he took the sugar cane, and he started chewing it, and he said, oh, in India, we eat sugar. But whatever he said, like volumes of knowledge would just go through your mind.
There's sugar in this?
Yeah.
Sugar. Just like in India.
Anyway, that's one part of the story. He was actually there for about a week, and somehow or other I made it out there almost every day. He had me bring my Bhagavad Gita by this impersonalist, and he had me sit next to him. And he started looking through it, and this Swami had said completely the opposite of what Krishna had said. And Prabhupada said, you see, he's taken the Bhagavad Gita and he used it for his own philosophy, and he's not saying what Krishna said. And then he pulled out his Bhagavad Gita, the purple Bhagavad Gita, Macmillan, and he said, this is Bhagavad Gita as it is, as Krishna spoke it, as Krishna meant it. And he said, would you like one? And being a hippie, I thought, yes, he's giving me a Bhagavad Gita. And he sat back, he said, that will be $2.95. But I didn't expect that. I thought, it's love, it's God, he's giving me this. And when he said that, I said, okay, I'll take 3. And then he said, do you like me? And I said, I just love you. I'm still loving you, sugar.
She is surrendered.
Sorry, I took so
So,
long.
no, it's the best part. So grateful to see you.
Good cookie.
What a blessing you just received. The blessing of a divine associate of Srila Prabhupada who doesn't eat sugar. Everyone clap for Jack.
I'll take some water.
Thank you. Yeah, I went tomorrow. No, I think about 1. Yeah, thank you for everything. That you and I thought. Okay, right. Well, should I talk to Sensei below? Thank you.
నువ్వు తిన్నావా తెచ్చింది మహా ఏం తినలేదు ఎవరో తినేసి వచ్చినా మంచిగా
కాదు శివం ప్రభు తినే తీసి పెట్టాలని శివం ప్రభు మహారాజ్ మహా కాదు అది.
devotees who are not able to come.
Some devotees who want a book signed, send here. Name is Devan Maharaj. No name, no. Please take some water. Yes, Radhanath Maharaj sent me email. He said, tell Maharaj, I said that just by having his lotus feet in California, I feel the purifying effect flowing all the way down here to San Diego. Your servant Bhakti Maharaj. Please visit us in San Diego whenever we schedule permits. One instruction he said, listen to your wife. Listen to her. It actually came on my stuff. Thank you so much just to read I think that's it. 6, 7. A lot of books.
My secret wishes, after this event, there's something that remains, so I can also.
Yeah, of course. You remember my dad. You remember my dad. The last year at the